Hi guys, Tracy here with my next installment of my project life. I have amalgamated all of July into 2 pages, and I kind of had a feeling that I would have to do that because I tend to get really busy in the summers just with, you know, vacations and lots of stuff going on with the kids and stuff. So rather than either letting myself get behind and then having to catch up, or trying to keep caught up with the scrapbooking side of things, or focusing so much on project life that I didn't get any layouts done, what I decided to do was sort of compromise a little bit on my project life so that I'd still have lots of time to do 12 by 12 layouts, because I really love doing layouts as well. So this way I can do both and still capture everything for the summer. So what I did for July is I kind of just pooled everything. I didn't worry about what happened on what days. This is just everything that happened in July, and it's in all different orders. And I just made sure that the things that I wrote about, I just kind of kept in mind. I didn't really even document much through the month. And then today I just printed up all the pictures, mostly 2x3s, and then anything bigger that I wanted in bigger sizes, I printed in bigger. And but there were only a handful of those, so I decided to go with this, which one is this? Design F for one of the pages. So I'll just show you what the 2 spreads look like, that and that. So I'll just kind of walk you through them like I always do. So starting right here, this is a silhouette cut that I got. I just cut it out in craft paper, and I used a bit of Heidi Swap washi tape that Michelle sent me. Thank you, Michelle. And some more down here, and it just says July in a nutshell, because I wanted it to, signify the fact that it gets loose here. And then I just printed up 3 4x6 photos. So this was the first one, and you might not be able to tell, but those are actually my kids there. Bicycling on the trail. And so these are all pictures that came from Scott's iPhone. So these were all captured by Scott. And then there's my other daughter with a frog, or a toad, I guess. And then there's the other sorry, there's only 2. That's my younger daughter, that's my older daughter at the beach. And so that's sort of an assortment of the things that Scott did with the kids in July. I work 3 days a week, and so there's lots of things that he does with them that I don't get to be a part of, and those were 3 of those things. So then I made this cell be kind of the explanation for those 3, so I numbered them 1, 2, and 3, and then I numbered them here, and I put Life of a Stay-at-Home Dad, and these are, I stamped this out using this stamp set that came in the Studio Calico Elmwood Park kit for July. And I used, what is that called? Jenny Bolin ink in the cough syrup red, and I can't remember what the blue was called, but it's just the dark blue. And it just says, 1, biking on the rails of trails, 2, catching toads, 3, playing at the beach, and then plus meals, laundry, and everything else. So it's the life of a stay-at-home dad. And then this is from a set of, hang on, I will grab it to show you, because I'm not going to remember her name. Kimberly Khalil Designs. Journaling cards, and she has these free journaling cards on her website, and so somebody on my Facebook gave me the heads up about these, and so I went online and I downloaded them to my computer, and then I just printed them up. And so I really loved this yellow, because yellow is one of my favorite colors. And then I just, it was just kind of a plain grid one, so it's yellow with a white grid. And then I just put a piece of washi tape and one of those fashionable hearts and bosslets that I had left over from another project, just in the chevron paper. I think that is from Echo Park. And then I just used my label maker to put the word embrace, and then this is a Tim Holtz word sticker from his Chit Chat stuff that says imperfection. So it says embrace imperfection, and then I just did some journaling about how my project life isn't going to be systematically documented for the summer, just because I would rather, as it says here, live my life fully than document it fully. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then this is just some journaling about a day that I spent organizing, and I took a picture of the shelves with all the labels on them and everything. I went a little crazy so that people could put things back, because I've had to clean this closet about 7 times since we've moved in. We've only been here 5 years, and yeah, my goal is to never have to reorganize this again. I don't know if that's a reasonable goal. And then these were just from my little extra punches that I keep. I keep all my extra punches in a little basket. And so I just grabbed those. And this was a Becky Higgins card that Michelle sent me, and she had done some stamping. And those are going to feature prominently in this month because I included lots of those. So that's one of the ones that she sent me. I just outlined it in 2 different shades of blue, and that was that. So then I just sat down and I made up a ton of cards of these 3x4 cards, because I knew I was going to use this, and I didn't even count how many I needed. I just, every picture that I have, like all of my 2x3 photos, I just made them each into a card. And once I sorted out how many I needed, I had exactly the right amount. So it was like it was meant to be or something. I put the Brave here because I just printed this up from the internet, and I put our tickets there because we did go to see Brave in July, and it has the dollar amount, which I think is nice to document. That's for the child's admission. And then I can actually, I didn't glue it down, it's just stapled down, so you can look and see the adult admission is layered underneath of there, and you can pull it up and see it if you wanted to take it out. This is a Studio Calico Arrow, and those are 2 labeled fashionable hearts that I had left over from my camping mini album. So those are, that's Echo Park paper, and that is Amy Tangerine paper. And then I inked this arrow. This is one of those wood veneer arrows. I inked it with this color, Rusty Keys by Prima. And then I used my orange stickles on it. I forget what it's called. It might be called, oh, I forget what it's called. Marmalade? Might be called Marmalade. Anyways, I hadn't used my stickles in a long time, so I was happy to use it. I just found that without the stickles, the orange blended in too much with this orange, and I wanted to pop out a little bit, so that's what I did. Then, all of these are basically just pictures and washi tape, and Michelle's stamping is pretty much all that I did for these. So thank you so much for giving me all these cards, Michelle, because this project life went together so easily. And I think that says something for the idea of pre-stamping a whole bunch of journaling cards and just having them ready. Some of them I just use plain journaling cards. So this is like the back of a Becky Higgins Cobalt Collection one. I'm so tired of the Cobalt Collection that I'm just using the backs of them now. I'm just using the plain backs. And then just washi tape, and this is stamped with these American stamps, these American Crafts ginger stamps. I love that font. And that's Jenny Bolin ink, and then just journaling and washi tape. And then this is Michelle's stamping and journaling and washi tape and staples. And that's cute. My daughter flagged like almost every single page in this book, so she might as well have flagged the pages of the dogs that she didn't love. So anyways, more of Michelle's stamping, and then I just ran some washi tape. You can't even barely see it, but it's just a little bit of a detail. And then this was actually a card that she sent me that didn't have stamping on it, but it's from, I think it's from the Turquoise collection. It's a card that I don't have, so I used that because it kind of looked nice with the ocean colors, and that's my daughter running on the beach. Yeah, so then this is another one that Michelle stamped, and then I just used washi tape above and below, and it's a picture of my daughter on the soccer field. And then this one, I used one of those pieces of Smash washi tape, and this is the Cobalt Collection Becky Higgins card. And so it just says, what, polymer clay, where, dining room, when, early July, why, fun, fun, fun. And this is just a picture of them. They had been making things out of polymer clay. And then this is another one of those. Sorry, it's not focusing. Yeah, this is another one of those cards from one of these sheets. It's just from a different collection. She had one for every week. So, so that's what that is. And this is just journaling about a party that we went to. And then I did the journaling in green for this one just to kind of stand out from this. This is a note that Michelle sent me. And then this is just some journaling about the fact that I used a lot of these cards, and that's one of the cards. And there's another one of the cards. And I just put my own washi tape above and below. And again, I used pink pen for that one, green pen for that one. So I used a lot of different colored pens, lots of green and pink and blue in this one. And so that's that. And I put love this moment on that one because I always love the moment when my Studio Calico kit arrives. It's one of the highlights of the month. So I wanted to use that one for that. And I think that's it for this. Yeah. So this is really super simple. So that's what the second page spread looks like from afar. And then I put a matching, like almost identical title card on this. It just says Even More July. And then I use this typewriter Studio Calico wood veneer that Sherry sent me. Thank you, Sherry. And more of the Heidi Swap washi tape that Michelle sent me. I did use some of my own supplies in this. So that's my title for this spread. And then this is another one of those cards from Kimberly Khalil. I just printed it up and I used my clear Dymo tape to write paper reorg, and I snapped a picture of my reorganized paper. You can't tell that it's reorganized. It looks the same no matter what order it's in, but I just thought I'd take a picture. And then this is another one of those Kimberly Khalil printouts, and it just says that I'm going through a major reorganizing spell, and I organized all my paper. I changed around my scrap room, and I also started organizing stuff in our house. And so then these are the rest of the 3x4 journaling cards that I made. I just made them all at once in a big stack and then put them into the envelopes. And so, as I said, it's mostly all 2x3 photos and then washi tape and journaling. That's more stamping by Michelle. And I matched the washi tape to the stamping the best that I could. It's not an exact match, but it's pretty close. That's a picture of Olivia. Look at her, she's doing thumbs down. I couldn't get her to do anything else in that picture, which I wanted this picture for a certain reason, because I have a similar picture of these three camping on our first camping, and she's a baby and she's a toddler. And I really wanted to do like a then and now scrapbooking layout, but look at her, she wouldn't be serious. So anyways, this is the best I could do. So I'm still going to scrapbook that. But anyways, so I do scrapbook multiple formats. I got that question from somebody. Somebody said like they watched my camping mini album, and then a common question was, are you going to Project Life these pictures too? And are you going to do layouts from them? And so yes, but I only include the highlights for Project Life because the whole thing is documented in the mini album, so I really don't need to document every single thing. So I just wanted to touch on the fact that we went camping in July. I didn't need to document every single thing that we did because that's in my mini album. And then for my 12x12 layouts, I'm just, again, kind of doing the highlights and the pictures that I want that have a bit more of a story that I want to tell for my scrapbook. So this is another card that Michelle sent me that she had stamped on, and this is a picture of my daughter was doing her own ladybug toenails. So I just stuck some washi tape on there and called it a day. So it's really, really simple. This I literally just like outlined around it, stapled it on, did some journaling above, and this is Michelle's stamping. Again, this isn't Michelle's stamping. This is one of the Kimberly Khalil journaling cards. So I printed this up, washi, picture, and it's done. Really, really easy. For some reason, these cards didn't print up in 3x4 sizes for me, so that's why there's a bit of a border, but I don't mind that. It looks kind of just like layered. It gives it a little bit more interest, so I don't mind that. This is just a plain Becky Higgins card, the back side of a card, and a picture with two different types of washi tape on it. This is the neon Heidi Swap washi tape, and then this is just pink and white striped, and then I tied a pink and white twine bow around it, did some journaling, put some more, some polka dotted washi tape, and then layered a punched butterfly and a heart. These both came from my little scrap basket of punches. This is a picture of my daughter's new pet snake, which we found outside, and he's temporarily going to be staying with us for a while so that we can learn about snakes. I have mixed feelings about that. And so I just did a little bit of journaling about how he's going to be boarding with us for a while, but not permanently. And so, yeah, we're feeding him worms and he's doing well and everything. And Livy's learning all about how snakes live and eat and what you need to do to take care of them. And we'll be letting him go pretty soon. So, Scaly the snake. Again, just washi tape. And that was stamping that Michelle had done. This again is stamping that Michelle had done, and so I just put a picture and washi tape, a little title, an arrow here and here only because these two pictures go together, so I wanted to be clear that the journaling goes with both of them. And these are arrow stickers from the Cobalt collection. And this is another card that Michelle stamped, and I just put washi tape above and below the picture. So, super, super easy project life. So I went from being 3 weeks behind to being completely caught up just in one day. And I really only did this for maybe 3 hours. Well, I was down here for 4 hours, but I also did a lot of other things, like I repackaged a bunch of thickers and I cleaned up. And so it was 4 hours altogether, but I wasn't project lifing the whole time. So, so this is just a little cell about Canadian Scrapbooker magazine, and they published one of my layouts, so I just put that in there because I was excited to get that this month. And then this, oops, didn't mean to show him. This is my neighbor, and he came over one day and was telling me all about how awesome Instagram is. And I didn't realize that it just saves to your camera roll, because I was having a hard time figuring out how to print Instagram, but now that it saves to my camera roll, it's really easy to print. So he got me back onto Instagram. So that's what this is about. And yes, we got new iPhone cases this month, and after we got out, as soon as we got out to the car from Winners, we immediately busted open the packages and put our new phone cases on and snapped pictures of each other with Instagram. And so these are just the two Instagram photos of one another with our new phones. And I just did a tiny bit of journaling. We got new iPhone makeovers, which is new cases. And then it says these will get us through until the new iPhone comes out. Because, you get bored with your phone, you just get a new case. These are the stamps that I used. These are from Hero Arts. And I think I got them at Michael's. I'm pretty sure. Because yeah, I must have gotten them at Michael's. I could have gotten them at my LSS before it went under. I don't know. No, I think I got them at Michael's. I'm pretty sure. And then this is the last one. This is actually a layout that I did quite some time ago, and it didn't make that week, like it says June 25th, and I just had too much for that week, so I took this out. This is just about a kind of pepperoni that I like. It's just the packaging from it, and it says, "This Parmesan encrusted salami is so salty delish." Yeah, okay, I need to find some more nutritious food that I love. And then this was another one of those cards on the Kimberly Khalil Designs printables that I printed out. It just says, "Today was good, today was fun, tomorrow is another one," by Dr. Zeus. And then this is another picture from the camping trip, an Instagram that I did of Scott starting the fire. And so that is my 2 weeks. So I'm not sure what that alarm is all about, but thanks so much for watching. This one was quite a bit shorter, just because it didn't take me very long to do all of those things. So I think it's really, just so you don't have to look at blank stuff, I just think it's really cool to be able to use things like these, or even just grab a stack of Becky Higgins blank cards or the backs of them and pre-stamp them. So that really helped me this time around. So what I'm going to do is the next time that I have a chunk of time in my scrap room, I'm going to make a whole bunch of journaling cards for times like this when you get behind and you just want to scrap as quickly as possible. So all of these have really minimal embellishments, and it might be kind of like, I thought it would be kind of boring just to have like washi tape and pictures and stamping and that's it, but it actually looks really diverse. Like every cell looks different, even though I use pretty much the same techniques on all of them. So nice to know that even in a pinch you can throw together a project life pretty quickly. So thanks for watching, guys.